Welcome back to the GSL Code A. We have a pretty anticipated match coming up right now.
Yep.
Parting versus Center.
I want to know what mouse Parting uses, because I have his old mouse, so he has to have a new one. And he actually asked me if I play with it. I'm like, no dude, I can't play with it. It's like if you give an 80-year-old a Ferrari, you can't do that. This mouse has too much skill. I'm not ready for it yet.
Exactly.
I have to prove myself worthy before I'm actually playing with a Parting mouse that won all these tournaments.
You can see here, if you just tuned in a little bit late, Boom Boom did take out Yoda and advances to Code S. So he will be the first Terran to fall. That's actually not true. But sorry, I wanted to say that, but then I was like, wait a minute, no. A lot of Terrans have already fallen in this Code A. We've had so many of them, in fact. We had a lot of TVTs, but
don't worry about it, it's fine. Here we have our
another
two players now. Again, exactly, another Terran.
Yep.
Center for TSL up against Parting, and Parting said earlier he doesn't feel too confident in his TVP these days, and that he is afraid that he might actually lose here. Center has proved to be a very, very strong player against Protoss. Now he's up against one of the best.
Yeah, Parting is, I think, the strongest player in the world right now as far as results go. It's hard to say anything against him. But, you know, he has, like you said, some problems right now in Protoss versus Terran. He's playing against some of his practice only Terran versus Protoss.
On the other hand, if you won $125,000 in the last 3 weeks, you're probably doing fine.
Probably doing fine. Would agree with that 100%.
You can see, of course, Senna came from Code B, won one of the Code A qualifiers. He kicked Seed into back into Code B.
Yeah, that was something that I think
round.
Very few people expected.
That was pretty impressive.
It was. It certainly was. And Parting, though, I feel like it's not going to have too much trouble against Center. Center might have to come up with some crazy strategies to be able to take the series.
Now I'm going to see what kind of mouse Parting uses. The wait is over. Did he get the blue one? No, actually it's a normal mouse now.
It looks like a Logitech mouse, one of those mice they use in PC box here, but I can't see.
Well, they are sponsored by Zoe, and the last time the pink mouse was one of the Zoe mouse that they have, and they have it in pink and in blue. I don't know what that is, but I think that's also Zoe. Pretty sure.
Very likely. It'd be weird if you used something different. Daybreak is map number 1 between Center and Parting. Parting, the king of the world right now. He made so much money. Can Center, the rookie player, take him out here? It's going to be so difficult. Whoever advances, though, will get that Code S spot. It's time for Center up against Parting here at the GSL Code A with Outdoor War.
Crowd on the wave like it's a stadium. Call me the weatherman, it's about to be a break weekend. I'm on the cloud, let's make it rain.
TSL Terran starts at the bottom left of the map. Map number 1 being Daybreak. This is, of course, one and only
TSL Center.
Someone who has been overshadowed by Polt for his team for so long.
Really happy guy, really cheery guy.
Yeah, good mood always.
Top left, top right, we have his opponent. We have the winner of the BWC Global Finals, the winner of WCG. Both of these tournaments in Shanghai, in China. Now he's back in Korea, playing the 3rd round for Korea. It is
Party.
Parting.
There we have him. Parting.
It looks like you did get the blue one that you were talking about.
No, that's not the blue one that I'm talking about. It must be available in more colors than only 2. I thought it was only 2, but that's the 3rd. That's like more blackish.
It looks, blackish, like metallic purple or something.
Do you know what? If Parting is actually losing the series and from now on does not do that well, I will pick up pro gaming, because then all the skill is really in the mouse that he gave me.
Yeah.
And then I can't lose.
Exactly, man.
Wolf, I'm gonna make so much money.
I'm gonna be so lonely without you. I might have to
I
destroy
can
that
still...
mouse.
No, don't you dare. I can still cast, you know, with a mouse apparently you don't have to practice. This is all about the mouse skill.
What happens if you observe with that mouse?
Oh my god. You don't need casters anymore.
I'm getting scared.
Yeah, we have to destroy it after all.
It might have too much power. This Texas first is a pretty bold choice by Parting, by the way.
Much power comes high responsibility.
Yeah, man, can you handle it?
I think I can. I'll do my best. I try to prove to be worthy.
I'm like thinking of like Calidor responsibility mouse, and the only thing that comes to mind is like a picture of you with like the mouse on your head, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure if we put the mouse in the right hands.
That picture was funny. If you guys haven't seen it, when Parting actually gave me the mouse, I knelt and Parting used my shiny head as the surface to kind of play with the mouse. That's how he gave me, how he knighted me.
Yeah, you know, your head is actually reliable as a mouse pad only when you've recently shaved it.
Yeah, that's true. We will have mouse pads in color shape.
Yeah,
that's going to be a thing.
That's going to be a thing in the future.
Well, one of the things that we have here is a cheeky SCV behind the base, the natural that is currently built for Parting. Has a few more seconds before it's going to be revealed by the Nexus.
Yeah, it's going to be killed. Actually, no, he gets it away.
No. Third base for center.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I like how these builders basically evolve. I feel like this matchup has one of the most dynamic early games, because if you're a Pro S player and you scout Command Center first, you cut your core and you go for faster Nexus. If you're a Terran player and you go one Rax Expand and you see the Nexus first, you're like, well, I'm going to cut out my gas actually for a while on my barracks, so I'm going to get a faster third Command Center on my main. You just see this reactionary play with economy in this matchup in the early game. You can also react by adding a ton of barracks and going for an attack as well.
The Stalker is still not out, so the SCV is still in the main base, dodging the Zealot here. Trying to get back away, but, well, I like that Senna takes a bit of a risk and plays this a bit more greedy than I feel he usually would.
Yeah.
He's up against a very strong opponent, and of course he can be confident in his abilities to beat the Protoss. He's shown this in the first and the second round of Code already. But on the other hand, that also gives Parting a bit more to study his opponent. That's the cool thing for Parting. Senna is not a guy that you see in every single tournament, so there's not a lot of VODs of him around that you can study. But with him playing two Protoss players already, Parting at least has a bit of an idea what his opponent is using in this matchup.
Yeah, you're very right. Parting's adding 2 gates, adds them at his natural, interestingly enough, where they will less likely be scanned. This is pretty cool. Yeah, he's going up to 4 gates now. He's making a sentry as well. I don't think he's going to add any more gates, but it's possible. No, he's adding the gases now.
If he goes for a little bit of aggression here, on the other hand, that could really trick, well, not really trick, but give Center a lot of problems.
He might freak out a little bit. Stim is, of course, very late with this fast third Command Center. And he's adding now the 5th, and he is going to go for the 6th gate, actually.
Yep. Wow. That's actually awesome for him.
7 gateways? Is he going to do it? Yes.
That's brilliant for Parting. That is a really good move that he does here, given what Center started. Center has 3... Yeah, Center has 3 command centers, has only 1 bunker, and most of all, Center has no idea.
Yeah, he has no idea. And Parting doesn't even really know what his opponent's doing. He's doing this very blind. But in this particular case, since he knew that Center saw the fast Nexus, he could predict reasonably that Center would follow up with a fast third Command Center without even knowing. That's a pretty good judgment call to make.
Yep. And he studied his play, so Center now will have to defend somehow. Can he pull that off, though? Because he has the first few Marauders, but if Parting actually hits this timing well, he will hit before Stim.
Calidor, if he actually baits these and traps him with the sentries and uses another warp in at that pylon, which is exactly what he's going to do here, Center is going to be in trouble. He loses so many Marines here. It could have been worse, but now he's in so much trouble. He was already down in Army Supply. Now he's down 1/3, and he's going to just leave him here. I can't believe it.
That was a huge mistake.
Game.
That was a huge mistake by him.
No chance of holding this push now.
Not even retreating with his army, but just leaving them there. Well, good luck defending this bunker. There is no way.
If he could turn all those SCVs into Marines, he still wouldn't hold. This is going to be game. There's nothing left. Not even a single unit to defend.
This is it. No stim, no combat shield, no nothing, no units. Center lost game 1. This trap by Parting was beautiful, and Center doesn't even retreat with the rest. GG.
Parting making it look easy.
Okay.
He's got a smile on his face like, well, that was kind of weird. I mean, he knows he got a little bit lucky with the trap, but his timing was very nice.
He's actually laughing. He actually has to.
I'm like not sure about the celebration.
Really hard.
He's like, he looks like he's like trying to he looks like he's doing a fake, trying not to laugh. I'm not even sure what that was.
Okay, let's be honest, that was just bad by Center, and something like this happens.
Yeah.
And Center knows it. I mean, you could see it on Center's face. It's like, okay, that's not supposed to happen. That was a mistake. And Parting just laughed because he knows that was easy. That would have been hard to hold even if you have all the units at home. But there was just... He walked up the ramp, Parting saw it. It was the worst time for him to walk up this ramp. And Parting saw it, force fielded half the army. Then Center was already so crushed that he didn't even return with the rest of the army. He knew this was over. And the coach is just telling him like, now, take it easy. It was a mistake. It was 1 second, 1 split second thing. Concentrate on game number 1. You can do it and you know it.
You know, what's weird to me is that you saw the sentry and it was like, oh, I want to get that. When you see a sentry like that, you've got to know it's going to be a push. That's the only reason that sentry would ever be that far across the map. And then he got unlucky with the builders. He would have still struggled to hold even if that didn't happen.
I actually feel that Center is a bit too much affected by this loss.
Yeah, he looks really affected in the booth. The next map is in Tomb Valley, by the way, another smaller map.
Look at that. You know, it's not like he lost a 40-minute macro game, like really close or anything. No, it was from the build order on, Parting with a huge lead, and then it was another minor mistake by Center. It's just one of those things where you get like, okay, shit happens.
Exactly.
It's like, don't think about it anymore. Concentrate game number 1. But Center looks really affected here. I hope that this does not play jerks him in game number 2. If that affects him,
well, we'll see if it does, man. Parting is going at light speed with his left hand there on the keyboard.
And I actually think, Wolf, that we are out of luck. It's apparently not the mouse. It's really the player who has the skill.
Absolutely, man. You're so right.
Parting against Center here, the GSL Code A, the 3rd round. Who goes Code to Code? Oh God, Wolf, please.
Whoever wins this goes to Code S here at the GSL Code A round 3 cast by Caldor and Wolf.
What is happening with me? Bottom left.